and I'm not sure what specific
Excuse me,
ones.
they told you there's not mercury in the shots?
In some of them, yeah.
Well, let me stop you. About 5 years ago, right at 5 years ago, the feds put out regulations that vaccine makers should make lots available that don't have squalene or mercury or other things. But you can read for yourself. Always read the insert. It's all bad, sir. They grow it in animal tissue. I have top scientists after top scientist reporting that there's live cancer viruses in every major vaccine. Even if they grow vaccine on egg yolks, the original seed vaccine was grown in tissue. Dead baby retinas, for some reason it grows great in that. Caterpillar eggs, for some reason grows great in that. And monkey kidneys, for some reason grows great in that. Now that's what you got being injected in you.
I hear you, man. It's you got you got the health departments and the media, and you got doctors scaring you. Do you want your child getting polio? And what are the chances of that happening? I mean,
well, number one, sir, don't believe me. Just Google polio vaccine gives people polio, and you'll get AP, Reuters. I showed it again last week, where all over the world the villagers run because they have miscarriages or die after they're given different shots, tetanus, polio, you name it. And, pull it up. Polio vaccine causes polio. And you'll have mainstream news, oh, it's weaponized. It's particularly deadly. The United Nations, sir, is a eugenics group. Have you gone to prisonplanet.com? Just search engine the term, go to startpage.com or Google or whatever, and type in eco-science. And read the book. It's online, the textbook. We've scanned it in. Others have scanned it in. This is what the White House science czar wrote about how they want to kill you.
Yeah. Well, I've been listening to you for over a year now. I'm very familiar with your site, and I've been following these things.
Well, sir, what are you arguing with your wife about it?
It's not arguing, but she thinks I'm being nutty.
Well, you make the decision for yourself, but the government has been caught killing foster children with chemical, biological, and radiological weapons on record. Do you trust anything they say?
Have you ever wanted to generate your own supply?
Continuing with your phone calls today, Laura in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead, Laura.
Hey, Alex.
Welcome.
I'm with the Educators of Liberty, and we've been watching your films and our movie discussion. We have a movie showing and discussion, and we got the movie Fall of the Republic from your Prison Planet forums, and we'll be watching the rest of that this Thursday. And we've been a huge fan of yours. We've been listening to you for years, and we really just want to get this corruption exposed and get people awake to what's going on. And I've just been active, handing out the material to firefighters, school officials, everyone, because my kids, I have 3 kids in school, and they got waivers. And I have a flyer, The Truth About the Flu Shot, and it has a lot of good information, what you can do as far as to keep you from, to get this information out to people and to keep them from force vaccinating you. It has the website oathkeepers.org, drtimpenny.com. It lists the information about what's in the regular flu shot as far as the avian virus, thimerosal, formaldehyde.
Yeah, that's a whole other issue. They put H1N1 in the regular flu shot. See, everything you're told is a fraud, but you can pull up mainstream news articles, but only here or there, or read the insert to learn that. There's so many bad things in there that I even forget. I hadn't mentioned that today. I'm glad you reminded me.
Not a problem. I just want to make sure parents know that they shouldn't be getting their kids vaccinated with this stuff because it's very toxic and it can hurt them very badly.
But the bigger question is, why is the government and the media lying and pushing it? Who are these people? And the answer is in eco-science. They want us sterilized. They want us dead. Ma'am, I appreciate your call. Let's talk to George in Indiana. George, you're on the air.
Thank you, Alex. I got one quick comment for that boy with the baby and then a two-part quick question. Look, mercury and aluminum both interact with each other. You can't even walk on an airline with a thermometer. They'll arrest you. I mean, they painted the airlines in Germany with the mercury at night so the aluminum would break down and they'd fall apart in the sky. You don't want that in your body. Here's the two-part question real quick, Alex. Since Obama's declared a national emergency, does that suspend Congress or the Constitution?
Potentially it could. Now, again, they have engaged the executive orders and they have engaged United Nations Pandemic Rule 6. And Congress is suspended if the bankers threaten martial law if they don't do what they're told for the banker bailout. Congress is suspended when President Bush signed PDD 51, telling Congress they're no longer involved in an emergency and that the White House is in total control. Obama didn't rescind that. But even if a tin-horn dictator, just because Hitler said he could arrest whoever he wanted, just because Hitler said he was God, didn't make it so. But yes, under the emergency powers, the continuum of powers, total tyranny being here, Obama has gotten to about right here. He hasn't gone all the way. On a scale of 1 to 10, the country's under about a level 6.5 tyranny right now. But we're moving further down the rat hole. I mean, sir, they're putting regular Army and Marines in fusion centers and police departments around the country. It's a slow, incremental red dawn, George. Well, and they're testing us because they know incremental takeover is hard to counter. Go ahead.
Well, what scares me then is the Copenhagen Treaty. If Congress is suspended, then he doesn't have to bring it in front of Congress. If he accepts the treaty, then we're in.
And how do they do that? He's not going to announce that Congress is vestigial. If Congress will pass a government takeover of health care, then they'll let it have authority in that one respect, in that one avenue, in that one sequestered, compartmentalized area. If they'll pass a hate crime law restricting free speech, then Congress and their authority will be followed by the National Security Council. But what you said is so important. Just because Reagan left UNESCO, the United Nations Educational and Cultural Organization that controls the curriculum in our schools, our environmental policies, and everything else under the sun, when Reagan got us out of that, the EPA, the FDA, the Bureau of Land Management, the Forestry Service, the Department of Energy, the Department of Education, they all continued to follow it. And I've had former top officials from all these agencies on to talk about how they just continued following the UN rules, even though they couldn't get the Congress or even the president in that case to go along with it. And so it's the same thing. They're already implementing carbon taxes at the state, county, city, school board level. They're already putting taxes on people's houses and taxes on people's power and taxes on people's produce and taxes on television sets and taxes on toilets and taxes on water. They're already putting in all these environmental rules under Agenda 21. The UN writes up these global rules. They then come in through the federal bureaucracies of the nation states, and they then hold back federal grants and federal money if the states don't implement. So when Congress doesn't get in line with the out-of-control executive and the out-of-control corporations, they simply implement it through the bureaucracy and through the states. I appreciate your call. Let's continue on with more calls here today. Let's go ahead and talk to John in California. John, you're on the air.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for taking my call. I'm an active duty U.S. Marine Sergeant, served 3 tours in Iraq. I get out of the Marine Corps in about another month and a half. Just wanted to say, first of all, thank you very much. Just started listening to you about a month ago, and I was absolutely shocked because I was raised in a very, respect the government. My dad's an ex-cop, and, I've served 8 years in the Marine Corps. And as a matter of fact, we had a guy that was just court-martialed, a good friend of mine, about a week and a half ago I went to NCO school with, and was court-martialed under treason and kicked out because he was a listener of your show, and he was starting to go around and talk to people in my unit and put this information out there. And, I mean, it was the fastest court-martial I've ever seen. I've been in 8 years, seen a lot of court-martials. And, yeah, it happened real quick. He was gone in about a week and a half. And,
was that in the news anywhere?
No. This was I'm stationed in California, and no, it was done real quick. Most of the people in my unit didn't.
Have you heard about the Marines running checkpoints with the chips?
Yeah, we've actually done some training to do that ourselves with my unit. I'm getting out. Fortunately, I have about a month left. Per Marine Corps policy, actually.
So they said it. Well, I mean, let's go back into that in a moment. But and of course, that was the state police announced it. It's been in the newspapers. For people that don't know, Marine Corps checkpoints for drunk drivers. You're not for drunks, are you?